Oh man, I've been waiting 100 episodes to use these gags again.
69.
Greetings, citizens! I'm Jeff, and thanks for tuning in to Nindie Nation episode 169, dudes! Today we've got a great lineup of brand new Nindies to check out, all releasing through December 11th, so be sure to let me know down in the comments which games you're interested in, and if you'd like to see any of them live during this Thursday's Nindies at Night stream. Also, if you're looking for a cool group of like-minded gamers to chat with, make sure to stop by our Discord. And don't forget, these videos live or die based on you liking, subscribing, and especially sharing with others. So thanks for your support. There's only a couple of weeks left in 2022, but each week has at least a couple of very exciting games. So let's get right into it. These are the 10 new notable Nindies hitting the Nintendo Switch through Sunday, December 11th. We start the week on Monday with a fast-paced, self-proclaimed dodge-em-up from Switzerland as Digital Kingdom and Thunderful Publishing deliver Swordship for $19.99. Now, I have a little nitpick for this game, though I do think it looks great. See, you're a sword ship, right? Well, if that's the case, why don't you ever, sword anything? The game plays out mostly as an isometric racer of sorts, and though perspectives do change on occasion, your goal is twofold. 1. Dodge any laser, explosion, or projectile thrown at you by your enemies, and 2. Position yourself in a way that causes the enemy's attacks to hit other enemies. It's a fun concept, and if you're good at any game that telegraphs attacks by blinking red, you're pretty much prepared to dive right in. I'm not yet sold on it being worth $19.99, but if there were anything that could convince me otherwise, it just might be the fact that between upgrades, endless modes, and a risk-versus reward currency system, Swordship is an isometric racing, dodge-em-up with procedurally generated levels, roguelike mechanics, and RPG elements! And you all know I'm a sucker for that. Look, I don't know what the hell a cuckoo is, so if it's some beloved TV show from Iceland or whatever, cut me some slack, because I searched around and I couldn't find anything. I don't want another Asterix and Obelix situation here, okay? Okay. Cuckoo's Lost Pets is developed by Petite Fabric and published by Maximum Games. And I'm just gonna assume that one of those two entities created the cuckoos. In this game, a 3D mascot platformer with heavy multiplayer puzzle influence, you play as one of the 12 cuckoos and team up with one of 5 lost pets to find the other lost pets. It actually looks pretty solid, but I don't really grasp the co-op elements. I guess you or an AI controls the other teammates if you're playing solo? However it works out, this animated little romp featuring a bastardized blend of Rabbids, Minions, and Oddbods drops on Tuesday the 6th and will set you back $29.99. Then we got a couple of noteworthy Nindies dropping on Wednesday the 7th, starting with Togues? It's like toggles, but without the L, so Togus? Another Thunderful release this week, this game is tricky to explain and wildly unique, but in the very best way. As such, that means it comes from either Brazil, Spain, or Indonesia, at least in my experience, and wouldn't you know it, Regular Studio indeed hails from Brazil. So Togus is, at its core, a single-player 3D collectathon platformer. You play as this little Roomba-looking robot dude, and the story is something about helping protect the world from an unknown void or something? What's different here is your core mechanic is collecting blocks. Those blocks can come in different colors and provide different abilities depending on how you combine, stack, or otherwise use them to solve environmental puzzles. So just like our last game, this is another one that's taking place in a 3D platformer's engine with a stronger emphasis on puzzles. I kinda wanna try this on Nindies at Night just to fully grasp what's actually going on. It releases for $19.99, and if you also want to see more of it, let me know down in the comments. We've also got the HD remaster of a critically acclaimed visual novel releasing this week. I can't understand a lick of what this game's description is telling me, but I bet a few of you care about this, so I'm gonna save everyone some time and just toss out a few lines from the description. Witch on the Holy Night is made by Type Moon, who made Fate/Grand Order and Tsukuhime. It now has voice acting, some animation, which is always a good thing, and follows a boy in the 80s who lives among witches, or something. I have no idea why the original game is beloved, so tell me if you know why, but I bet a few of you care about this one, so we're gonna cover it. Hope you're a baller though, because it releases for $39.99 by way of Aniplex of America, who sounds like less of a publisher and more like a political party. Last up on Wednesday is a big one, and citizens, we gotta talk about this one. As I'm writing this on Friday night, December 2nd, I've put about 90 minutes into Bot Gaiden, which I truly, honestly believe just might be the coolest game I've ever played that's published by East Asia Soft. Here's the thing. I can't beat the tutorial level. Now, I'm no Dark Souls speedrunner, but I have played more video games in my lifetime than most humans have taken dumps. So I think I'm justified to say that this game is just way, way, way too hard.
That's what she said?
And I'm playing on the difficulty marked casual. Here's what it is. Take Mega Man, or maybe more like Mega Man Zero, make it look like a Saturday morning cartoon based on a comic book, put you in a super fast, stylish mech, and build the game around the concept that you obtain temporary upgrades throughout each level. Multiple. Like 5-6 different upgrades per level, such as a dash, double jump, speed, attacks, and so on. But then, on most difficulties, anytime you get hit, you lose at least one upgrade, only getting it back when you find the next upgrade. It's not that bad because most enemies die in one hit and power-ups are plentiful, but there's a lot of trial and error and memorization of each stage's layout. Like Mega Man, at the end of the level, there's a boss, but here's the other interesting aspect about Bot Gaiden. As you progress through the level, you can see the boss's power growing with every passing second, obviously encouraging you to get to the boss as quickly as possible. Then, depending on how fast you can clear the level, you can earn anything from an extra life, to always starting with an upgraded weapon, to stat upgrades, to permanently upgrading your movement abilities. It's really cool, and I love the concept. However, playing through any of the 3-minute levels over the course of an hour and a half, I never saw the end of a level, only the game over screen after running out of all of my retries. It's just too hard.
That's what she said.
I say that because I'm writing this on Friday, because I'm gonna play some more of it this weekend, and we'll check it out on Nindies at night, because otherwise this game looks amazing. It's super fun to play, and it has an absolutely bitchin' soundtrack. So I'll put something on the screen right here to let you know if my opinion has changed. Otherwise, I really want to love this game, and I don't know if it'll get patched, or maybe I'll figure out something I was doing wrong, or just
get good.
I don't know. It's developed by Swordswipe Studios and releases with co-op in tow for $14.99. Alright, on to Thursday, where we've got one of my most anticipated Nindies of the year. But first, let's talk about mechs. Shout out to the team up in Vancouver at Lion Code Games, because the provided trailer for Mech Armada is one of the best I've ever seen. It just takes a couple of minutes to walk through a single round of their game while adequately explaining everything along the way. As a turn-based tactical game, you build up mechs from tons of options, like tons of options, and then set out on a randomly generated path to knock out a bunch of bug-like monstrosities. Move your pieces, see how the battle plays out. If you win, you continue on your run, and if you fail, you keep your currency or any add-ons you find and give it another go. That's right, citizens. Mech Armada is a turn-based strategy RPG with procedurally generated levels, roguelike mechanics, and RPG elements! And I'd say it's got a general layout of Into the Breach, but with up-close combat and customization a bit more like an Armored Core. Just, turn-based. I dig what I'm seeing here, and so far the PC Early Access reviews couldn't be more mixed, with 3 reviews in each category, so we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. If you could use something like this in your life though, it launches with a discount for $15.99. Another interesting title that I bet many of you will throw on your wish list is Simona's Requiem by Team Simona. Making no effort to hide its clear Castlevania influence, this game is much more Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2, than it is Symphony of the Night. Running around 2 to 3 hours, it is paced to be deliberately slower and a bit more chill as you play through levels that are interconnected with a little incentive but not too much focus on backtracking. It's definitely a lower budget and a different approach than something like Infernax, which was also inspired by the same game, but there's plenty of room for both of these to exist. It's received pretty solid reviews so far and releases for $7.99. But then, my friends, we've got the big one, and I am so excited to get my hands on it. Most gamers know that the golden era for JRPGs was the late 16 and early 32-bit era, though I will say I think we'll look back in a few years and realize that we're absolutely in the smack dab middle of a similar renaissance. Anyways, games like Chrono Trigger, Suikoden, Xenogears, those were all primary influences for Matthias Linde throughout the 7 years he spent as the solo developer behind Chained Echoes. It's a traditional JRPG that comes with about 40 hours of lovingly crafted content. The couple of shticks here include the addition of mechs as well as the combat system, which is turn-based while also featuring a turn order similar to games like Child of Light or Final Fantasy X. While researching the game, I stumbled upon a great interview with him from Touch Arcade, and I love the quote here from Matthias.
Think of the old SNES and PSX era RPGs. Add magic, add mechs, and think of those games as you remember them, not as they actually were. Boom, you've got Chained Echoes.
So you sold? I'm sold. I can't wait to dive in. The same interview also clarified that the game will run at feature parity on the Switch, including a mostly solid 60 FPS, which is great. I'll be playing it on the Xbox because it arrives on Game Pass and will work on the cloud, so I can play it without interrupting my resurging obsession with Grindstone. So yeah, check out the soundtrack at the very least because it is amazing. Chained Echoes wraps up the releases on Thursday for $24.99 and is yet another promising title from Deck 13 Spotlight. Then we've got 2 more games to round out the week on Friday, December 9th. Class of Heroes is a mid-tier tactical RPG series that started back on the PSP. It features dungeons where you grind out enemies for experience and loot, and a school of anime kids with a story that progresses as you tackle the dungeons. Super original, I know. This week, P-Cube and Acquire bring the latest entry in the series to the Switch as Adventure Academia: The Fractured Continent launches for $39.99. I'd explain how the game works, but it'd just be repeating everything I've already said about the series. But hey, sometimes a mid-tier ultra grindy RPG is just the thing, you know? And wrapping up the week, I was excited about this one, but I had no idea it was already coming out. Jitsu Squad is a cartoony beat-em-up with very silly, almost Looney Tunes-like vibes by Tanuki Creative and Inin Games. It released on PC earlier this year to limited but very positive reviews, and claims to be inspired by Marvel vs. Capcom through its 2-player tag team system, where each player can pick from a couple of different characters to swap between. So basically the same thing that Shing did. But I love Shing. The visuals are gorgeous and the action looks really fun, but I'm a bit hesitant about its $25 price tag, as that's even a bit high for the best brawlers on the system, like Shredder's Revenge and Streets of Rage 4. That said, it's got the right inspiration, some nods to other indie games like having ukulele as playable characters, and an overall positive reception. So let's wait for reviews or see if we can check it out on Nindies at Night, because I'm always down for another great beat 'em up on the Switch, aren't you? Hey, let's go to the outro. Whoosh! See anything for you this week? I'm all about Chained Echoes, and I'll definitely be playing more Bot Gaiden, but I'm still interested in Jitsu Squad, Simona's Requiem, and Mech Armada too. Let me know what you're feeling, and if you want to see any of these in addition to Astronite on Nindies at Night this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. If you want more indie gaming goodness, come hang out with us on Discord. And if you want to help us grow, liking, subscribing, and sharing Nindie Nation with others is all you gotta do. Next week is looking fantastic. We've got Akka, the cozy spin on Tunic, The Crack Pet Show, a trifecta twin-stick shooter with a hilarious premise, and of course, River City Girls 2. But as far as today is concerned, citizens, we're all done here. Until next week, I'm Jeff. This has been Nindie Nation Episode 169, dudes! And remember, no matter what type of game you're looking for, Nindie Nation will be right here to help you find just the thing to keep your Joy-Cons synced.